All right, this new segment is called Wine About It, and it's presented by L'uva Bella Winery, which is located in Louisville, Ohio. Now, if you're a frequent listener of this podcast, you may know that Nick and I like to tell things like they are. We don't like to shy away from controversy. Some people even call us complainers at times. So with this new segment, we're going to take some time each episode to find something to whine about while enjoying some delicious wine from L'uva Bella. This all came together last minute, so we won't be enjoying that wine today. But we do have some topics to discuss. So, Nick, what's on your mind this week to whine about?
Yeah, so I definitely have something to whine about. And for me, the new season's starting. We should be excited about betting. I mean, I am. I'm excited about betting. But when I look at what's available right now, there's not a lot out there. And specifically the one thing I want to pick on, BetMGM. Their top 10 odds are completely unbettable. Like, actually completely unbettable. The leaders, the guys that are the favorites, Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney, all three of them are minus 300 for a top 10. Minus 300. That means their implied odds to finish in the top 10 are 75%. You know what? No driver has a long-term average above, 30% in terms of DNF rates. There's no way anybody's ever gonna, be good enough at super speedways to finish inside the top 10 at a 75% rate, because you're gonna DNF a third of the time at least. So, and then even when you don't DNF, you still have to finish in the top 10 every single time. So these are just completely unbettable odds. And, even looking down the field, they have most of the field listed in minus odds. There's only a handful of drivers, maybe about a third of the field, that's listed in plus odds. And it's a completely unbettable market here from BetMGM. Do not bet top 10s at BetMGM. Just don't do it. Shop around, as always, and you can definitely find some top 10 value. There is value out there, but it's not with BetMGM this week.
No, and with sports betting becoming more openly legal and more states adopting it, you'd think that these books would get a little bit more competitive, but MGM, I feel like, is always lacking, kind of like Caesars is with their outright bets. So right there with you. I honestly, I rarely even open up MGM's app. Unless someone tells me, hey, this is great value over here, I'm not even touching it. And I'm kind of going to, piggyback off of you. I'm not a little disappointed. I'm very disappointed at the offerings of not only sports books, but also DFS. I thought the demand last year for NASCAR, on DraftKings and in the sports betting world, I figured would have them paying a little bit more attention, putting a little bit more time into different odds, different offerings, and even the contests on DraftKings. You know what? The Millie Maker, awesome. We have a NASCAR Millie Maker once again. It's the exact same payout structure and size as last year. There is no reason. NASCAR, for the majority of the season last year, always filled DraftKings contests. There's no reason for these contests to be the same. You have to assume, if you look at NFL, if NFL fills their contest every single week, do you think that they're going to get this or stay the same or get smaller? Absolutely not. So why can't NASCAR do it? I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. And as far as, sportsbooks offerings, it's the week of the Daytona 500. I understand we're coming off the Super Bowl. Sportsbooks just had Caesars or William Hill in Nevada is still down from the amount of volume. I think I saw Ravel tweet that, FanDuel was taking 50,000 bets a minute on Super Bowl Sunday at their peak. I understand it's busy, but DraftKings doesn't even have poll odds up. People are celebrating. I've probably seen 8 tweets today, talking about Caesars and, I can't believe they're offering all this for, NASCAR. Yeah, they're offering more than most sports books. They're offering a lot of props. They're offering top 10s, top 5s, everything. It's the exact same stuff they offered last year. They're offering nothing new except they actually added qualifying, which other books offered last year. So I'm disappointed at the start of this year already with, even going back to the Clash, I feel like sportsbooks missed out on a lot. So yeah. And then speaking of, this is my second part of my wine. I came prepared tonight to wine.
I love it.
I am sick of mid-race concerts. The Clash, I don't care what type of music is playing. You can put whatever. That's not like, that's what most people bitch about with these concerts. It's the fact that the crowds are so dead. There is I felt so bad for the camera guys trying. I know they're just like trying to find someone with a pulse in that crowd, and they couldn't find them during the clash. It's just like when what's his name did the in the middle of the crowd concert I think it was at Texas, the All-Star race a few years ago. Like, just stop doing it. Stop trying to do this. People go to a racetrack to watch a fucking race. They don't sit there to watch a concert. Like, just read the room. Like, I get why they do it. They're trying to bring more people into it. And I hope it works for them. But man, it's such a bad look on TV when you look at these crowds and it's just like a not a funeral home, but a old folks home, retirement home. I mean, it's just, yeah. So
I want to jump back onto this, Caesars Sportsbooks offerings and stuff, because you're right. They're basically not offering anything new. One thing I was really hoping for, and I thought would happen, and maybe it got nerfed because of the problems with William Hill, right? Because it's William Hill Caesars. But William Hill, for the brief moment that they were up during the Super Bowl and then they had posted props for the Daytona 500, they had over-under finishing position for a few drivers, and I thought that was going to translate over to Caesars. Not there. I really want over-under finishing position. That is my favorite NASCAR bet as outside of like outrights and top manufacturers. And speaking of top manufacturer, DraftKings still doesn't even have top manufacturer up. Right? They have winning manufacturer, but they don't have top manufacturer. And it's incredibly poor offering there as well. It's a complete total disappointment. PointsBet wasn't even up today with NASCAR odds. Like they had them yesterday, they took them down today and just they don't have Daytona 500 odds today. What is going on in this world where NASCAR is just on the back burner right now on everybody's minds with the Daytona 500 just 5 days away?
Yeah, it makes no sense. And especially, like I said, after last year and how much demand there was last year and how much growth there was last year in this market, it makes no sense to me. But yeah. So those are our topics that we whined about this week. Let us know your thoughts on this segment. Like I said, next week we should have wine in hand to try. L'uva Bella Winery does have 4 different brands. If you try the Purple Rain, which I highly suggest, it's my absolute favorite. It is the best wine you'll ever have. I say that with confidence. You can find this wine in stores such as Kroger, Meijer, Walmart, several states, including North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia, Tennessee, Alabama, and Georgia. Trust me when you say you will not regret trying this wine. And thanks to them, you get to hear me and Nick complain each and every week.